Hi, this is Carl from Legal Genesis, and this is the fourth and final part of the discussion on how you can work out the day of the week on which any date from 1752 onwards to infinity falls, provided that no changes are made to the current Gregorian calendar. Now, I won't repeat too much of what I've already mentioned in parts 1, 2 and 3, although it will be necessary to repeat some of that information. But what I want to do in this video is to take random dates which will occur in hundreds or maybe in thousands of years to come, and show you how you can work out the day of the week on which those particular dates will actually fall. Now, I mentioned previously that each century has its own key doomsday. For example, for the 19th century, now although the first official date of the 19th century was the 1st of January 1801, we're actually using 1800 as the start date for the century and working out the doomsday for that century. The doomsday for the 19th century was a Friday, and so therefore the key doomsday for the first year in that block, 1800, was also a Friday. Similarly, for the 20th century, we're going from 1900 to 1999 as opposed to from 1901 to the year 2000. The key doomsday for the 20th century is Wednesday, so the key doomsday for the first year in that block, 1900, is also a Wednesday. For the year 2000, from the year 2000 to 2099, the key doomsday is Tuesday, and from the year 2100, the key doomsday is Sunday. Now, the key doomsday for the century will occur once every 400 years, so you have the sequence starting from 1800, going to 1900 to 2000, and then to 2100. The sequence is Friday, Wednesday, Tuesday, and Sunday. So in the current century, the year 2000 to 2099, the current doomsday for that century is Tuesday, and so Tuesday will also be the doomsday 400 years from the year 2000, starting in the year 2400 or 2400. Now, let's look at the century doomsdays. Let's take the year 1900. We can see that the first two digits, 19, is an odd number. We can also see that 200 years later, in 2100, 21 is also an odd number. So the key doomsday for a century where the first two digits of the four-digit year are odd, will either be a Wednesday or it will be a Sunday. If the first two digits of a century year with four digits is an even number, then the key doomsday will either be a Friday or it will be a Tuesday. If the first two digits of a century ending in 00 is an even number and is also divisible by 4, that makes it what we call a leap year century, and then we can be sure that the doomsday for that particular year will be a Tuesday. Now let's take a random year which will occur in many thousands of years from now. Let's take 6213, 6213, a four-digit year. The question is, in which century did it occur? Well, the answer is the year 6200. So we ignore the 00, we look at 62, we can see that it's an even number, so therefore the key doomsday will either be Friday or it will be Tuesday. It will be Tuesday if the first two digits are equally divisible by 4. If not, it will be a Friday. We can see that 62 is not equally divisible by 4, so the key doomsday must be a Friday, the same as it was for 1800 to 1899. Then we use the same method with the last two digits of the year to work out the key doomsday for the year. How many times does 13 divide by 12? Well, the answer is 1, remainder 1, and then you take the 1 and ask yourself how many times 1 can be divided by 4, the answer being 0. So you add together the 1 and the 1, that gives you 2, and then you count 2 days from the key doomsday for the century, which, as already established, is Friday, or will be Friday. We count 2 days from Friday to establish that the key doomsday for the year 6213 will be a Sunday. And then, as mentioned in parts 1 and 2, there are key reference dates on which doomsday will fall. Doomsday is the 28th of February for a non-leap year and the 29th of February for a leap year. There are also other key dates such as the 6th of June, the 4th of April, the 8th of August, the 12th of December, the 10th of October, the 5th of the 9th, the 5th of September, and also the 9th of the 5th, the 9th of May, the 11th of the 7th, the 11th of July, and the 7th of the 11th, the 7th of November. Prior to the 29th of February or the 28th of February, if we're in a non-leap year, other key doomsday days are the 3rd of January and also the 10th, the 17th, the 24th, and the 31st of January. If we're in a leap year, the key doomsday reference dates are the 4th, the 11th, the 18th, and the 25th of January, then moving on to the 1st of February, which 4 weeks later will take us to the 29th of February, a key doomsday for a leap year. But going back to the year 6213, the key doomsday for which will be a Sunday, and if we take the 10th of August of that year, we know that the 8th of the 8th is doomsday, that being Sunday. 8th of August 6213 will be a Sunday, so the 10th of August will be 2 days thereafter, and it will fall on a Tuesday. Let's take a 5-digit year. Let's take the year 15,350. 15,350. We consider the century, which is 15,300. We ignore the 00, and then we look at the 53. We can see that it's an odd number, so therefore the key doomsday cannot be Friday and it cannot be Tuesday. It will either be a Wednesday or it will be a Sunday. It will be a Sunday if 53 is 1 year after a leap year century, and if it's 1 year prior to a leap year century, it will be a Wednesday. So the question is, which one is it? Well, 52, one less than the 53, is equally divisible by 4. So the year 15,200 will be on a Tuesday. The key doomsday for the year 15,200 will be a Tuesday. So for the year 15,300, it will actually be on a Sunday. So 15,300 key doomsday Sunday, and then we take the 50 and we do the working out with the division by 12 and then by 4. We have 4 12s are 48, remainder 2. 2 doesn't divide into 4, so we have 4 plus 2 is 6. We count 6 days from Sunday, that leaves us to the following Saturday, Saturday being the key doomsday for the year 15,350, and therefore if we take a key doomsday this time, the 31st of January 15,350, that will be a Saturday. Let's take the 3rd of February 15,350, that will occur 3 days thereafter, and that will fall on the following Tuesday.